Okay, I want to do an overall look at linear playing through a jazz chord progression and all the different things that I've talked about, and try to add a couple of things and throw in a couple of even just standard licks so that you can have something to really hang your hat on soon. We've talked quite a bit about arpeggios. And we don't always use the arpeggio in its full form up and down. It would sound like an exercise if we were doing that. But we do use segments of arpeggios quite a bit. You might just go 1, 3, 5, or you might go 7, 5, 3, down. There's all different kinds of ways that you might want to do it. And a lot of times you'll hear jazz guys go, you know, something like that. And all that is just a part of each triad of a chord progression that was 3, 6, actually 5, 7 of 2, 2, 5, 1. So that's a very good thing to use through a progression. So if, let's say, you're playing, I always revert to All the Things You Are because it's such a great example. It goes through so many chords in each part of the tune. If I play just, you know, through the first part of it, F minor. So I went down the F minor arpeggio, just the triad, and then up the B flat minor. I just used the third, and I went down to the root and to the seventh. If I continued that arpeggio on the E flat, it would be like that. So, right? That's something, you know, a little fragment. And when it's connected, it sounds like a line, and you can hear the changes just by the linear pattern that's created. Reversing direction is a very important thing too when you're using arpeggio fragments or using arpeggios at all. You might go up one and down another, and it gives a really nice linear shape to a progression. The progression there again is 3, 5, 7 of 2, 2, 5, 1 in A flat. So I'm going up the C minor arpeggio. I did the entire thing. I went down the F7 one. That's where you get the juicy note out of the key. And you can put some grease on that too. Right? Slide into that first note and it gives it a nice sound. Right? And so that was, the rest of it was the B flat minor to the E flat 7, changing directions. And by reversing directions midstream like that, you get more of a line shape rather than going, which sounds kind of like an exercise. So that's a very important concept. The other thing that I use a lot, and you don't want to overuse it, but it makes things like when I say grease, you know, I'm adding a little grace note, a little note sliding into another note. A lot of times I don't pick it. I just slide into it. You can pick it too, but it's more like a slide, right? But the other thing that I use a lot is called an appoggiatura. That's an Italian word for twirling a little bit. So let's say I'm playing a B flat major 7 chord, and I'm going to play a descending major 7 arpeggio. What I might do is take the very first note and twirl it a little bit between the 7th and the 1 right above it. It's a cool sound, right? And again, it makes it more musical. It makes it sound like, even though it's just an arpeggio and you're spelling out the notes in the chord, it gives it a really nice musical kind of flair, right? And the appoggiatura, the turn or the twirl, that you might want to add could be between any notes. It doesn't have to be on the 7th to the 1. I might do it between the 5th and the 7th of a chord. Like let's say if it's B flat minor 7. So I'm hammering on, and let's continue a lick. I'll tell you. There's a very kind of standard bebop lick. I'm taking the B flat minor 7 arpeggio. I'm in the I'm in that first finger position. So the fifth is with the first finger. I hammer on with my pinky. Just do that a few times with me. Grab your guitar and do it now. Right? And then what I did there at the end, I took the basic, the 7th and the 1 of that chord, and then resolved it to the 7th degree going down to the 1 on the A flat chord. That's a little 2-5 lick. It's kind of cool. Let's do that slowly. I neglected to mention there's another Appoggiatura there between the 7th and the 1 of B flat minor and down to the 5th. Oh, there's another example of that kind of turn. And when I'm playing through some changes, you see right there, I put a turn in there. It really gives a nice kind of a gliding feel to what you're playing. So play around with that a little bit. Try it in scale patterns. For example, if I was going to play, if I'm just playing a descending B flat, A flat scale, for example, I put a little turn on the first note. It gives it a whole other color. Right? So that's the Appoggiatura. So to sum up our talk about linear playing through a chord progression, use every tool that you have available to you to try to find the notes that bring out the chord progression that you're playing through. Use your arpeggios, use your juicy notes that you have added because you've analyzed it. If there's a 5-7 chord leading to another chord in the key, emphasize those notes. Remember to do it slowly, take your time, really work through the progression. Look at it maybe on a piece of paper or make it yourself a very slow play along of the chord changes, or even just a part of the chord changes, and play through it over and over again. As you do it, please remember to try to do it in all the different positions that you know. If you're going to do that lick, play it in different positions, you know, so that you force your fingers into different areas of the guitar to work on it. These are very important moments when you're going to take what you've learned technically and put it into the practice of playing. So please remember to do videos, send them in so that I can hear them, and I can help you improve using lines to play through a set of changes. That's a big part of jazz guitar.